Now, were you one of those people who wanted to get as much information as possible about the condition, or did you want to leave it to the doctors and the nurses to do their job the best they could?
Well, I wanted to see about the treatment. My daughter got me a book about a Don in Oxford who had been diagnosed with the same illness. And he had been advised by his friends not to have any medical treatment for it, but entirely go over to herbal treatment and the natural treatments. It took me some time. I was given time to decide whether I wanted medical treatment, and which was helpful, because with this book I had the two alternatives, and I took me probably a couple of weeks before I finally just decided that I would go for the medical treatment.
Were you seriously considering not taking up the medical treatment at all?
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
But then I suppose I have a reasonable amount of common sense, and I said to myself, if all the medical fraternity have been working on treatments and medication for years and decades and centuries, I can't just reject it. It would be totally wrong on me to discard it and say it's no good.
I totally understand that, but I suppose I need to understand the opposite view as well, which is, why would some people discard it in that situation, or why were you considering not taking it up?
Because of the side effects of the treatments.
Yeah.
And there are times, I have to say, there has been times when I wondered whether I took the right decision. But 9 years later, I'm bound to say to myself that I did. But it was, I wouldn't say it was touch and go. I think my daughter felt that I should consider it seriously.
Yes. I mean, would there be any reason that you couldn't have all possible options at the same time?
Well, I did think of that, but I think one might mitigate against the other, and the treatment probably, natural treatment probably wouldn't have the same effect if I had medical treatment.
Are you an advocate of the complementary and non-medical natural treatment?
I do think that originally all medication comes from plants and nature, and therefore in the right context and the right consistency, I think there is a lot in it.
I guess one of the problems there is finding the right non-medical treatment for you.
Yes.
Because not everything is well documented like the medical treatment.
Exactly. The research is relatively limited and it's very commercial, so you can read about it. Everything is curing every illness, and it's not really reliable from that point of view. But something that happened to me about a year after, I got in contact with a lady who gives aromatherapy. And she was hesitant to start with, because she said my resistance in my body was so strong that she had great difficulty of treating me. But since the beginning, I've had aromatherapy probably every fortnight. When she's available, I have it every week. She's Ecuadorian, has set up a small research center in Ecuador, and she travels there quite a lot. So she's away for 6 weeks at a time. She's now a doctor of pharmacology, and so she has medical background too. But that made wonders for me. There were times when I felt really exhausted and unable to cope with matters, and I came to her and she gave me, and the oils she's using are natural oils that she mixes together herself. So one might say there would be people who would say, well, that's kind of hocus pocus, but to me it has been real reality.
At the end of the day, it's about finding things that work for you, isn't it?
Yes. I talked to the consultant at Royal Infirmary, Dr. Chapman, and she said, if you feel it does you good, you carry on with it. It's no harm. The same thing as she said, my wife, soon as I came home and had told her about it, she from a friend had got advice of getting literature from the Cancer Centre in Bristol, which I believe is quite, or was in those days, quite well known. And we got a big file of literature, and they were advocating specifically the diets and so on. And I tried. I gave up coffee and tea, but I wasn't particularly keen on it in any case. I had a Macmillan nurse coming visit me in the beginning, and I said to her, I'm not giving up a glass of wine with my meal in the evening, because if I do that, I might as well top myself, because there is no pleasure in life unless you can enjoy something. And she said I would do exactly the same. She said it would do you more harm to deny yourself something that you really enjoy than the harm of the illness itself. And that was endorsed by the consultants actually. Don't deny yourself something, but everything in moderation.
Yes, I'm sure that's, again, good advice. And it's really about focusing on quality of life, not just quantity. I mean, theoretically, we could all do things that improve our longevity. But it's also about having maximizing that time so that you enjoy what time you have, whatever that is.
Exactly, yes.